Max. Time for free money! Free money! Woo!
It's for your bookie.
It's my,
free money for your bookie.
It's my
people.
college football picks against the spread. I had a great week last week. Just I could not have done better last week. And so
your picks against the spread are terrible.
I'm on a heater.
Absolutely
I'm
terrible.
on a heater. Everything's going great. Everything's coming up Millhouse right now. Say again?
Did you pick Iowa State to cover last week?
I did not. But
well, they only won by 56.
But I won the Houston game. I won the Oklahoma State game. I picked Texas minus 24. I picked Kansas State. I got Kansas State. I got SMU. Yeah.
You're terrible.
Everything's great.
Whatever.
So we've got college football picks against the spread. Max, let's start with the Nerd Bowl.
Yeah. Rice versus Stanford, 7 p.m. Saturday. The Owls are 35.5-point underdogs.
Now, this is weird because Rice is playing a little better.
And Stanford's been really disappointing this year.
They really have. But look, I mean, do I dare trust Rice on the road against a Power 5 team? You know what? I'm feeling pretty sassy. I'm going with Rice. I think they keep it close.
That was my instinct in this.
I'm going
to
take Rice plus 35.5.
Yeah.
I think that they can keep it close. Maybe Jackson Tyner, their new quarterback, gives them a little bit of a spark.
Maybe.
And just keeps it close.
Yeah.
I think they lose, but I think they lose by like 28.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with that. I mean, this is 5 touchdowns.
Sure.
They could lose by 5 touchdowns and still win this bet. So
yeah, I'm kind of with you.
I'm gonna go with Rice plus 35.5. What's next?
Troy goes to San Marvelous, 3 p.m. Saturday.
That's reversed, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you screwed that up?
Yeah.
Okay, so San Marcos is on the road, and...
No, I'm sorry. The line is reversed. I said, never mind. Never mind.
I understand the line.
Okay.
Texas State is not good.
Correct.
They are 27.5-point underdogs.
Yeah, I sent it to you as Texas State being a 27-point favorite. That is not true. I just have no confidence in the Texas State offense right now. And, that's problematic because the defense we knew was going to be bad all year long, and they're undermanned. Now they're going up against a pretty darn good Troy team, and they're doing it, and now the offense is kind of getting its wheels off. Problematic. I'm going to take Troy minus 27.
All right.
That's where I'm going.
Okay, that's fine.
What's next?
Charlotte going to San Antonio to play the Roadrunners, playing for bowl eligibility. And they're 9.5-point favorites. What could go wrong?
This is going to be now, first of all, this is going to be a common theme, okay? Let's be real about this. There's a reason that UTSA is a 9.5-point favorite. They're better than Charlotte.
Right.
The one thing that keeps them from this would be weird football at the Alamo Dome, which is wont to happen. That said, I think UTSA knows what's in front of them. I think they know that there's history in front of them if they can win this game.
Yeah.
I think they come out and I think they take care of business.
I think so too. I think they run right at them.
I think they take care of business. I think that they take down in front of what should be a packed house on Saturday night at the Alamo Dome. If you're in San Antonio, get to this game.
Yeah.
And wave your orange and blue pom-poms.
And wear your luchador mask.
Wear your luchador masks. We need UTSA bowl eligible. It's been such a crappy year of college football. We need this.
We need this.
The state needs this.
Speaking of things we need.
Taking UTSA minus 9.5.
Right.
Let's go. What's next?
Speaking of which, we also need North Texas to be bowl eligible, and they have a great chance to do it playing UTEP on the road, but UTEP's still a 3-point underdog. I think that line is a little narrow, don't you?
I think that's really narrow considering how bad UTEP's looked lately.
Yeah. I mean, maybe because North Texas isn't scoring quite as much without Mason Fine at quarterback, but boy, I don't know. But UTEP look really bad.
I think once again, this is an instance of motivation. UTEP basically doesn't have anything to play for. This is a team that is not going to make bowl eligible. I think that they don't have a lot to play for. North Texas has everything to play for. Mm-hmm. By beating Southern Miss last week, they gave themselves a shot to go to El Paso and become bowl eligible. I think they do it. I think they do it in emphatic fashion. This is a UTEP team that just lost to Rice.
Yeah.
I'm going to take North Texas minus 3. I think they win this game. What's next?
I think that's reasonable. Another one going for bowl eligibility, but this one's a little trickier. Navy taking on Houston on the Hilltop, where the Ponies.
That's me. You said Houston.
Or did I say Houston? Sorry, SMU on the Hilltop. I did say Hilltop. So
You
I got
did.
part
Yeah,
of it
I
right.
mean, you
Yeah.
need your context clues.
The Ponies are 7-point underdogs. Oh, we're rooting hard for you, Ponies. We're rooting hard.
This is tough
Yeah.
because SMU's not very good against the run, and the thing that makes SMU, when they pull off these wins, what they do is they force a bunch of turnovers.
Yeah.
And at Navy, I don't have the. In fact, let me get the stats in front of me. I want to see where Navy ranks in turnover margin. I bet it's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
That would be my best. Let's
They
my
are
guess. Let's see.
well-oiled machine, very disciplined.
Exactly. They really are. There it is. Okay, let's see. Navy is they've only turned the ball over 8 times this year. 8 times. That is the
not great.
Third fewest in the
not,
nation.
Not something to look forward.
That's
for
problematic
SMU.
for SMU.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my heart wants to go with SMU
I
so
know.
hard. I'm just not sure I can. I think I'm gonna go. With Navy -7. I think that they win, and I think they win by about 10. So unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
This game has lost all of its luster. Baylor taking on Texas Tech, 5 p.m. Friday. Baylor is a 5.5-point favorite?
Inexplicably.
I don't understand
I mean,
that.
this is basically them saying. This is Vegas saying, "Is Tech going to be able to stop Shot Glenwood?" And the answer is no.
Right.
But on a fast track, I'll take the points. I think I would have taken the points regardless of who they were going for. But you can give me Tech plus 5.5. I'll take that. I think Tech bounces back. I think let's put it this way. I think last week against Iowa State, there's a fair chance that was an aberration. Okay?
Yeah.
I think Baylor last week against Kansas State, there's a pretty good chance that's who Baylor is now.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Baylor has just totally, completely quit.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to take Tech plus 5.5. What's next?
Toughest game to call this weekend, I think. TCU taking on Texas, 2:30 p.m. Friday. Horns are 3-point favorites.
Horns are a 3-point favorite. I mean, let's be real. Both of these teams are coming off of arguably their worst games of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, TCU looked horrifying against
Fell
Oklahoma
flat.
State.
Yeah.
Looked really bad. Texas, I mean, they lost to Kansas.
Yeah.
What else do you need to know?
It's not great.
I think there's something that people aren't talking about.
Okay.
I wonder how healthy Shane Buechele is. We saw him come off the field last week.
That's a good question.
And he looked like he was on another planet.
Yeah.
And even if they haven't diagnosed him with some sort of concussion,
Right.
I wonder if that's lingering. I think that's a big thing in this, a big key in this one. That said, I am very concerned for TCU considering they were not able to stop the Oklahoma State running game, which is fair. I mean, it's an okay running game.
It's not Texas' running game.
It's not Texas' running game. It's not Dante Foreman.
Yeah.
And I think there's also something to be said about Texas playing for Charlie Strong.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Charlie Strong, the coach, but those guys, those guys in that locker room, they have his back. And I think that no matter what Friday afternoon, you're going to get everything Texas has. And I think that's enough to get them a win. I like Texas plus or -3 in this one. I think they hold serve at home and they get Charlie Strong, maybe his last one.
All right. The Cougs, taking on Memphis. There's no line in this one. Injuries? What's the deal with that?
So the Memphis quarterback they don't know about. That's the question.
All
yeah,
right.
I was saying that. So unfortunately, we can't really make a pick against the line. I think Houston probably wins.
They should. They're
they
the favorite.
should.
But they've lost games they should win this year. I think this is a game they get up for, though.
Yeah.
Like Memphis is on your calendar if you're Houston. That's a team that you get up for.
And we know that's what
they do well.
Issue.
They play well in those games.
So I'm going to take Houston. I'll take Houston. I would take Houston up to about I'll say -7.
That's fine.
So so in a fantasy world where there is a line, I'd take them to about -7.
else do you
After
do?
that, I'd probably have some questions.
Sure.
But it's fine. And finally, Max, some Thanksgiving football.
LSU coming into College Station, 6:30 p.m. on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Better than watching the NFL. 6.5 underdogs, though, the Aggies.
This is a weird game to call because
I don't think there's
LSU's
a good chance
gonna
6
be-
points don't get scored in this game.
LSU's going to be without their best player or their best defensive player in I forget his name. Whoever that big time linebacker is. His name's just escaping.
They might
me
not.
right
They
now.
might be without Fournette too.
Yeah, that's the bigger thing. What is his name? Kendall Beckwith. Kendall Beckwith's going to be out. Leonard Fournette's going to be a game time decision.
Sure.
Let's say Leonard Fournette plays,
Okay.
but he's only at 80%.
All right.
The bigger issue for me is I don't know how A&M is going to score on LSU. This LSU defense is really, really good. Let's also not forget history. LSU has traditionally had A&M's number, and they've beaten them on Thanksgiving before. This is an A&M team that is struggling offensively, and this is not the offense you want to run into when you're struggling offensively. I will say I am more confident in the ability of seeing an LSU breakthrough against the A&M defense than I am against the vice versa.
Yeah.
And if A&M wins this game, here's a hot take.
Oh, here we go.
If A&M wins this game, they will have scored at least one special teams or defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
It'll have to be a kick return or a punt return from Christian Kirk, or it'll have to be a pick six or a fumble return for a touchdown.
Right.
That, to me, is the key for A&M because I just don't have a ton of confidence in this offense, especially against a real flamethrower of a defense they're going up against LSU.
Yeah.
6.5 is tough. I'm going to take LSU minus 6.5. I don't feel good about it. I'd stay away from it, but this is free money, and I'm forced to make a pick. So I'm going to take LSU minus 6.5. So my picks against the spread, I like Stanford, or I like Rice plus 35.5 at Stanford. I like Troy minus 27 at Texas State. I like UTSA minus 9.5 at home against Charlotte. I like North Texas minus 3 at UTEP. I like Navy minus 7 at SMU. I like Texas Tech minus 5.5 at AT&T Stadium against Baylor, or plus 5.5 against Baylor at AT&T Stadium. I like Texas minus 3 at home against TCU. I like Houston at Memphis. There's no line. It's a weird situation. And I like LSU minus 6.5 at Texas A&M.